how to apply accurate thinking to talent estimation, right? So just walking on my way to gym here, so I want to share a key piece of insight. Today I had to basically reframe the perspective of one of my clients. Brick and mortar guy who are building basically digital transformation, building a lot of digital assets, automations, AI integration into his business and his systems, right? So he can get to that level where he can grow and scale and maybe open up multiple locations, right? And so what I do sometimes is I oversee and supervise every single thing that we produce, right? Before I basically hand over or finalize it. So, but I use subcontractors. And I have a young kid, he's 24, and he built out a lot of AI automations for me. And been actually teaching me a lot about AI automations. Incredibly useful, right? And not only that, he has experience with different type of funnel buildings, of page structures. He's worked in just a lot of tools, right? Like one of these young kids that just totally geek out on this stuff. Like imagine a kid that does basically plays video games whenever he fucking can, you know, pushing it to the limit. But instead of video games, that type of focus to a video game, it's just digital marketing, right? That's just, he geeks out on this stuff. And so I was speaking to my client, and he was kind of disregarding this kid on the basis of his age, right? And so how can we blah, 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 and he's not that old, and what's his experiences, what is his credentials, and why should we blah, blah, blah? Because there was like a difference of opinions into like how we should approach things, right? And so my client basically just don't have the experience, the knowledge, the insight, the perspective to make that judgment call, right? It's ultimately his business, so he has to decide. But but the point is that he wasn't applying accurate thinking. And so I said to him, listen, you have a lot of experience in the business that you are running in that type of environment, right? Bricks and mortar, not in the digital space. That's what you want to move into. And so you have 10 plus, actually 12 plus years experience in that. And we fully acknowledge that. But you have to understand that this kid that I'm subcontracting to, all he's been doing, right, since the age of 14 is basically this, digital marketing, right? He wakes up, that's what he do. He goes to school and does his other shit, but then that's it, man. That's all he thinks about, 24/7, right? It's doing his chores, digital marketing, right? It's quitting his college and whatnot to kind of pursue this and becoming very, very good at it and highly successful. And I was so lucky to hook up with him at a point where he needed some type of input in one area that I could provide him, and he can help me with something else. And now we have a partnership, so I can subcontract to him. And so basically, he has 10 plus years of experience doing only this. And so I said to my client, so listen, you go to work, you do your business, you come home, you have a family, you have a wife, you have kids. He don't have that shit. It's the only thing he does is still, and now he does it full time, right? Digital marketing. That's all he does. He geeks out on it. That's the material he immerses himself in. That's what he builds out. He geeks on it. It's his social networks. It's the group he frequents on school and Facebook, and everything in his life is surrounded on this one fucking thing, right? He goes to bed early. He gets up early, and that's just all he does all day long. And it's a passion for him. And he does not give a fuck about the money. He just want to produce results, right? And learn and grow and be the best at what it is he does, right? It's like a fucking elite athlete. And so maybe we should listen to him, right? Even though he's only 24, right? Amazing. So accurate thinking, right? When you do talent assessment. So incredibly important. And one thing I can highly recommend is if you have the opportunity it's a little bit windy here, to basically hook up with talent like this at the right stage of his life, I would highly encourage you to do so, because it will serve you well. And if you can kind of hook on to that journey they are on and support them in that, of course, but also kind of utilize their energy and their drive to the projects you have that you want to get completed, it's a perfect partnership. So accurate thinking, talent assessment, and also talent acquisition, right? And so the rate of learning is one thing, right? Because that shows how quickly they can get into an improvement loop how quickly they can learn and adapt. And the second thing is focus, time and attention allocation towards the thing that it is they want to become good at. Try to assess if this is what they're really into or if it's just a means to an end, right? Because if you can get someone that's intrinsically driven towards mastering the thing or the craft that you would need their help or their assistance with in terms of task completion, project management or project completion, whatever it is, that then is incredibly valuable. So that's my tip for today.